They were all John over John. You met John. John.
Hello, John. How are you?
He does.
Nice to meet you.
He does a live edit, and I walk away with the episode. Well,
I'm doing an independent podcast too, and somebody the place I'm dealing with, they tell me they do that too. I don't think I like that.
You know.
Because I like to be in control.
Oh, you want to be in control.
I like to be in control.
I trust John.
But, shout out to you, John. Make us look good now, okay?
Welcome to another episode of this lovely thing I called The Green Room. A safe space to be your authentic self. Talk about life, spill the tea, and search for the meaning of life. All while enjoying the benefits of cannabis.
Amen.
Yes. You know what? Before we introduce our guests, I'm gonna read their little bio.
Mm-hmm.
That's
not my little bio. I know that's right. My little bio. He's gonna read my little bio.
Your little bio.
Go ahead.
Our guest today is a journalist. Check. Podcast host. Check. Authoress. Check. You want lists?
You're a mess. You know that?
You want lists? They are on them. Mm-hmm. They were on the Out Magazine's 2023 list of the 100 most impactful LGBTQ people. Mm-hmm. And the Roots 2020 list of the 100 most influential African Americans. Mm-hmm. They are a journalist that has written for the LA Times, where I first met them. They were an editrix. Editrix at large. Editrix at large at Extra Magazine, and they were the director of culture and entertainment at the aforementioned Out Magazines. They wrote We See Each Other, a Black Trans Journey Through TV and Film, and was co-authoress, the NAACP Image Award winning.
Yes, I am.
Historically Black phrases from I Ain't One of Your Little Friends
there you
to
go.
Who All Gonna Be There.
You got it.
I'm from the South too, so I could put
you
that.
Familiar.
They got books and they got podcasts. Tre'vell hosted the award-winning shows Fanti and What a Day under the banner of Slazon, a media production house, which Tre'vell is the founder of, and Chief Imagination, the CIO.
The CIO.
Chief Imagination Officer. Let's welcome the award-winning journalist and model of excellence, Sister Mary Tre'vell Anderson.
You're a mess. Hello, Dino. How are you?
Oh my God, Tre'vell. I remember the first time we met. We had lunch at Republique. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
You don't? Because I was all, so fuck my drag.
Listen, I'm an old girl, okay? The memory has lost me, left me behind long ago. But I believe you.
I know. I believe you. Too. Mm-hmm. I believe me too. Shout out to Can again for these wonderful, well, they don't sponsor, but we ain't.
They should sponsor. Come on, Kane.
Come on, Kane.
Go on, because this one's cute. This is the blood orange cardamom.
Yeah, and High Boy. It's a High Boy. Okay. I like me a High Boy.
Yeah, they need to sponsor. Okay. Sipping.
Okay. But no, we met, and I think I just followed your career, and we have so many mutual friends. We see each other in these. Well, lately, I don't want to be in these streets with Amelia Perez of it all.
Well, now who knows? Maybe you can be the next Zoe Saldana. Because that's how you say her name now. Not back in my day, we called her Zoe Saldana.
Oh, you called her Nina Simone?
Well, you said it, not me. I'm happy for her. I am happy for her.
I am happy for the fact that we don't have to talk about that movie anymore.
Amen. Amen.
I have not.
Until next year. Because
when they have the comparisons, they'll be remember when we had that gay ass film called Amelia Perez with the trans person?
It'll come back. Trust me.
It will come back.
It'll come back.
And she probably will too, with Kevin Spacey.
Oh.
And with a movie produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Well,
and I am being a mess today.
You
are.
Sorry. Yeah, it's okay. It's your show. You can do what you want. You said authenticity moments ago.
And also, we were just talking about this. We were both removed from a lot of lists already, so what do we have to lose?
That part, okay.
But okay, well, Tre'vell, thank you for being here. I love you, of course. I love being, seeing you rise as the authoress you were meant to be. But what was your first weed experience like?
Ooh. So you know what's funny?
Or like one that you kind of remember.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what's funny is I'm one of those people who, I didn't used to do drugs.
You were a
drugs
good
is bad.
Christian girl.
Absolutely. You see the skirt. Okay, you see it.
I see the skirt. I see the Crocs.
You see it.
The Crocs were ripped.
Very very comfortable. Okay, cozy chic. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I didn't used to do any of the drugs. I grew up in the church in the South. We just didn't do that. Yeah. Right. But I was living here in Los Angeles, and the week after it was like recreationally legalized is when I dived head first.
Really?
Yeah, I went to a regular old dispensary and got a, little this, little that,
How did you choose?
Well, I knew that I wanted to I started off with edibles. Okay, because I was never really into the
smoking.
I mean, I am now. Okay. But I wasn't at the time.
Let's get the record straight.
To be clear. But so I started out with edibles, and I got a few different edibles, some lemon drops, some cookies. The place that I went to had popcorn, and they had a little
thing?
Yeah, they had a little I guess weed drizzle on it.
Not weed drizzle.
Baby, I'm not the chef behind it.
Okay.
But that was my first experience. It was wonderful. It was everything that I needed it to be. And now I am a card-carrying member.
And, well, do you remember kind of your first high, or a story about being, or a memorable high? Do you have or where you got really messy, if you want to go there?
So what's interesting? I have a different, intoxicated experience than most people. I think when it comes to the cannabis, by which I mean, I have never I use it for work purposes. I use it to wind down after the day. My thing is
wine. It's like your wine.
It's like my wine, except, a whole bottle.
A whole ass bottle.
You know what I mean? And so when I smoke, I am usually just on the couch, very, very comatose of sorts, watching The Amazing Race or something, something easy, reality TV.
Traitors? Did you watch Traitors?
So I started watching, and then I stopped.
Wait.
But it's still in the queue.
Or second?
I have watched both of the last seasons, and then I started watching the current season, the latest season.
How far? Sorry, but
I made it to when Bob got voted out. I'm gonna go back and finish. One of these days.
It's just weird because just to have second season Peppermint.
Yes.
Third season Bob.
Yeah.
There's a pattern here.
Well, yes, they hate drag queens.
They hate queer. Well, they don't hate queer people because
there's a lot more.
There's a lot sprinkled in there.
There's a lot.
They just don't have a lot of spice.
Yeah, but I'm usually just because I prefer sativa.
Okay,
I should know. Yeah, I need to give me my head moment. I just keep my mind just doing. It's good for the ADD. Okay.
Does it help because I know you write does it help with your writing?
I use it yes and no.
Does it start off good and you're all, wait a second, and then
it ends good. It never starts out good. Because
do you think that's just old age though? Because I find it hard to write. Just to even start writing.
You know what's interesting? I've always had a very slow writing process.
Okay.
My entire career. Now it's slower, to be clear.
How slow was it before?
Maybe.
Let me give you an example. You get an assignment from LA Times. It's an interview, feature interview. How do you start? And you have the audio, you have everything
the stuff
ready.
So I'm gonna let you know it's gonna take me 4 days to get that first sentence. Because I'm very tuned
You're like thinking.
into I'm into the rhythm of the words, okay, and the length of the sentence and which punctuation is going to convey this type of thing. It has to hit for me at the beginning or
4
else I
days.
can't go. And mind you, the story's due on the 5th day.
So you're like the 25th hour kind of person.
Very much so. I don't intend to be clear. I'm working on it every day. But I just
you're trying
can't
your
push.
best.
I'm doing what I can. I stopped rejecting it and started owning
Embracing
it.
it.
You know, that is my process. It takes time. But once we get to cooking, baby,
When you get that
cooking.
rhythm.
Absolutely.
The rhythm is going to get you.
But
as
the
Gloria
cannabis
Estefan.
does help sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, especially if I'm doing something that's a little bit more creative, like less writing oriented, but like, you know, trying to come up with a new podcast idea.
Yeah.
Trying to, you know, we got 12 different jobs. And so, you know, sometimes you're doing some consulting type work and you need to.
Oh, you have to shift those gears.
Absolutely.
Like,
and so it's good for me. It has been good for me in that regard.
because I know, like, you probably have been hired like me to do assessments on films and stuff like that. And,
no shade. That's just the work,
that's
you know.
just, that's just the work, y'all. Pay us. We just want to pay rent.
Amen. That's all we trying to do.
Pay rent and maybe even pay my electricity on time. My LADWP. Sometimes I look in that account and it's like, oh, surprise, you haven't paid.
Because that's, yes. Let's just, y'all listen. The rent is too damn high as well as all the utilities as well, okay?
But, like, I want to talk about the real Tre'vell.
The real me.
No. But, regardless of where you were born, where do you call home?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. Where do I call home? I guess I call LA home. I hate that for me. Oh my God, I hate that for me. I was also gonna say Atlanta. That's where I went to school. And so I feel like that was a formative period.
Well, you could,
but you know,
like when you say I'm going home. When, what do you is it LA? It is LA, right?
Yeah,
I'm the same.
because I'm going home to where I live.
Yeah.
My address.
But do you think home is a state of mind?
Is home
Home
a
is where
state
the heart is.
Well, when I think of home, I think of a place. Okay.
Where there's
lots of fried chicken and, collard greens. I guess when I say I'm going home, I am talking about going to my mother in Charleston, South Carolina.
So it's like maybe your home is like mom. I guess. When I say I'm going, like, I think I'm the same. It's like when I go visit my parents, I'm going home, because that you're so used to saying that.
Yeah, but I think I just say it to say it.
Yeah.
Not because that is what home is to me. Because I was a military brat. I moved around all over the place. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where the majority of my extended family is, and my mom has now moved back there. It is not, but Columbia, South Carolina. Well, there is an Air Force base in Charleston.
Okay.
Yes, there is an Air Force base in Charleston as well. So I guess that is as much of home as I'm gonna get.
I was gonna reference Luther. House is not a home.
A house is not a home.
Remember when
Chair is not
Tamira
a
Gray
chair.
sang that in American Idol the first season?
Oh wow, you taking me back. You know what? That first season of American Idol. You know what?
They were onto something.
They were onto something until about season 12.
What was season 12?
I don't know, but I promise you
it's the
dropped
season
off.
12.
Actually, no. Season 14, because I think the season 13 winner is Candace Glover, who is also from South Carolina. Okay.
Do you know her?
No, I don't. I don't know all black people in South Carolina, Dino. Okay.
I just thought you might know because South Carolina.
No, I don't, but she's a fabulous singer. And I think that was the last season
was
that
on
I watched.
Fox still?
It was still on Fox, I believe.
Now
yes.
it's on. Now that old girl Carrie Underwood is a judge. I just remember being so in love with Kelly Clarkson.
In love?
Yeah. No, not in a romantic way.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
No, because we all know where we're representing.
I mean, listen. Y'all know what it is.
But Kelly Clarkson was so
She was great.
Tamaya, great. Remember Nikki McKibben? I think
Justin Guarini.
Did you know
the runner-up?
Did you
give
know
him his credit?
That me and my friend, opening day, went to go see From Justin to Kelly in the theater.
That's cute.
The only people in the theater in Austin, Texas.
Oh no. Well, maybe
But they were contractually obligated to do that. Anika Noni Rose was in that movie.
The legend was in that movie, which I just I've never seen From Justin to Kelly.
You don't need
to be clear. But I saw a clip on the TikToks recently. And they zoomed in on Anika. I said, "Is that Neek?"
Yeah, and yet she was one of Kelly's friends.
One of the black friends. The only black friend. Because this is early 2000s. She was the only black one.
It was. We're going back to that time right now. So
well, hate that for us.
Laugh through the pain.
Yeah.
Well, when you came to LA, what was the dream? Were you like looking to be this kind of what would you like media conglomerate?
You know what?
Like what was the?
I don't know. I just knew I was a bad bitch, and I had to figure it out. Okay. Now I should note for the people, I came here because of the job that I got at the LA Times, right? I was in this fellowship, this minority editorial training program.
We'll dive into that a little bit, yeah.
But that was the way that I got into the newsroom straight out of grad school. And I was like, I didn't want to work at a newspaper. You know, back then we all were saying newspapers are dying. Why would you want to go work at a newspaper, right? But when I got the offer, I was like, okay, well, let's not be stupid now. Okay?
Yeah.
Take the job, beloved. And so I took the job. And so I came out here, and I don't know, I just really wanted to cover Black stories and queer stories. I didn't know how I was going to do it, how I was going to, squeeze that into this legacy newspaper, but I figured it out.
Yeah.
I did all right.
Do you think that's a common thing with a lot of queer people? I think I'm kind of the same way, in this interesting way when we follow our dreams, per se. It's like, but we never have a template.
Yeah. Literally making it up as I go, beloved.
And and it's like I recently watched The Wedding Banquet, the remake that Andrew On did at Sundance. Great film, and I was watching it and then like seeing Bowen Yang and then this wonderful new actor. I think his name's Han. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. Sorry, but they're a couple. They're and to see that, and I was all, imagine if I was just able to see this when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, that I would see what is possible.
Yeah.
For like, and I don't want to be like, well, people like us or like a lot of queer people, we never knew what was possible. Do you think that was kind of like how you navigated?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I came from South Carolina, but I was a military brat, moved all over the places. I was somebody who like really loved television, and that was like a way for me to see other possibilities, not necessarily possibilities for me, but just like, oh, the world is so much bigger than I think it is. And I think for me, it really was, I've always been somebody who's just taking the next step right in front of me. Okay. Like I know greatness is on the other side, and I'm very confident that if I just take the next step, the path will show its way. And to your point, I never had an example, I still haven't seen a journalist, quote unquote, like me doing what I'm doing besides me.
One of one.
Unique. But it is, I do think it is a common thing among many queer people, trans people, folks from quote unquote historically excluded communities. We are literally making things up as we go because we haven't had these connections to industry or these connections to certain careers. And that's how we all end up dealing with that imposter syndrome.
And it's still alive and well, mind you.
Okay.
I meditate on that every way to say, hey, can you just leave me alone today? I say, hey, imposter.
I don't have imposter syndrome anymore.
How did you get rid of it? Did you go to a hospital? I mean, that's a movie, huh?
Listen, I took a pill, okay, for 60 days, okay, and knocked it out real quick. But no, you've been in this industry, so you see the ways that other people get various opportunities and they do what they do, and you see how they do it, and you be like, we all know I'm better than that, right?
Yes.
We all know, like, you know, the beloved who interrupted Babyface on the red carpet at the AP, at the Grammys, to go speak to the chaperone.
Not the chaperone.
I would never.
I mean, as a
I would never.
I made a big old comment on that. I was just like, as a journalist, you don't do that.
And I understand, you know, and I say this as somebody who has worked that specific carpet.
I think
the Grammys.
I've worked Oscars, but
you know, but it's very similar, right? It's chaotic. There's a lot going on. I get it, but I just remember seeing various instances like that and being like, oh, I'm better, but like, I'm just too much. You know, like, I'm just too much for these people. They can't handle it, and that's okay with me. But, like, the imposter syndrome, I realized was only hurting me. You know what I mean? And I was doing the hurting of me by internalizing all this other stuff. Reality is, I'm amazing. You just can't afford me. And that's why you went with the beloved over here. And I get that.
And now look what happened.
Listen, get you a little budget and then come on back and we'll make sure it's pristine.
I know. It is like, I saw that and I was less, you know, of course, Babyface is a legend. And I love Babyface. Speaking of Kelly Clarkson, watch the clips of Kelly and Babyface singing. Go. But, I want to cut that in while I edit this video. But like,
I've always been in love with you. Always with you. I guess you've always known it's true. You know it's true. You took my love for granted. Why? Oh, why? The show is over. Say goodbye. Say say goodbye.
Was there a movie or TV show that you were like, oh, listen, this is what's gonna make me want to go into entertainment?
Oh, no. Because here's the thing.
Was it just generally TV?
Because here's the thing. I never saw myself doing anything entertainment related.
Oh, really?
Okay, I thought I was going to be, you know, Ta-Nehisi Coates, okay, with these deeply researched and reported stories about race and culture and identity. You know what I mean? I thought that I was going to be out here. Listen, stay tuned, okay? How you doing? But that's who I wanted to be initially. And then I had an interaction with someone at the Los Angeles Times when I was there who told me in not so many words that, like, I couldn't do stories on Black people and queer people in Los Angeles because there were other reporters already, like, on those beats.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up in the entertainment section during my fellowship.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then from there, it was like, you know, I was trying to cover Tyler Perry movies. I was trying to cover, you know, Lee Daniels movies. And no shade, but my colleagues weren't covering that at the time. And so it became this space where my interests in this type of content that I grew up on with these folks I grew up with seemed to be a way to, like, make a path in terms of telling Black stories and queer stories. And so, like, I saw that path open and I, like, ran down it.
Work. And I think you are doing, in a way, your own version
in
of
my own way.
Your own Ta-Nehisi Coates.
You know, I got a little razzle dazzle on mine. Okay, I got a little, you know, a little je ne sais quoi or something.
But it's kind of like I feel like there is this generation of
I'm laughing at the producer behind the scenes, laughing at me. Okay, I told y'all I was a fool.
Well,
okay?
there's this generation of us. I don't think we're lost. Well, yeah, we are.
Well,
But it is exactly like we never had like, and I think that's why I think the whole immigrant experience with my parents, like not wanting me to be, that's a whole other thing. But it's like, oh, that's why I'm more forgiving of my parents now. Did they raise me the right way? Like, I don't know. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They left their homeland.
No shade, yes.
And chose to speak English here.
Okay, and here they are.
And they're actually in Tokyo right now.
Ooh.
I know, they travel too much. They travel more than me, those bitches.
Okay.
Mom and Dad, I love you.
You
That's
sure?
what I'm gonna listen to.
I'm about to say, is that the proof? Okay.
They're going to be Aldino. We're going to have to talk. Okay, so let's talk about Slaison. Am I pronouncing that?
Slaison.
Slaison.
Yeah,
like
you can put some extra emphasis on it if you want. I will not stop you.
Slaison.
But according to the Secretary of State, it is just Slaison.
Slaison.
You know. But that is my little media production house, social curation company I started a couple years ago, basically to give myself a space to do the type of stories that I wanted to do. And so I've been producing like these independent podcasts out of it. I had this little Black critics salon that I came up with called Black Talk. That's on the YouTubes. Check it out.
I love that.
That I also did under that. And then I've done some other projects, with, bigger names and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. But that's my own little, your special
production
project.
house.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like what I'm doing with Diaspora. It's like now we're just finding these not labels, but like houses, basically.
Yeah.
Where we just like, okay, it's not just necessarily journalism.
Now, can I note something?
Yeah.
Because you're right. Everybody's got their own little Substack. Everybody's got their own little podcast. Everybody got their own little newsletter and email community.
And that's great.
Well,
that's, yeah.
I just want us to realize that everybody can't have their own thing.
No, yeah. And,
some people don't need.
Some people don't need
to have their own thing. Just saying.
There's a lot.
Well, yes.
I am equal opportunity.
But
no, I'm not.
I say that to say, I also want people, because when I think we're in this moment now with like creative folk, right, where we're all looking for our own spaces and whatnot. What would it look like for us to begin, tapping in to what someone is already trying to build, as opposed to feeling like we have to do our own thing?
Yeah.
Because everybody don't need no Substack. Why? Because some of y'all don't have Substack worthy
material
and opinions and you know what I mean? Content.
Some people need to be protected from the content.
Some people need to stick to the 280 words on the thing formerly known as Twitter.
Or go to Blue Sky, guys.
Or go to
Threads,
the Blue Sky.
The Threads.
You could go wherever. But some people,
Bring Tumblr back.
Some people, whatever platform is going to allow you to get off your posts that don't require, everyone to pay, $5 to $10 to read it. I don't know. I just like, what does it look like for us to be putting together, these like independent publications that are not just about, getting our own stories out there, but also amplifying other people and their stories, right?
Yeah.
How can I use the audience that I'm building and working on, right, to also put somebody else on?
Building community.
Because listen, I ain't got too much money left to give to all of the Patreons and the YouTubers.
Neither do I.
Okay, but if some of y'all get together that are doing similar work, or you see somebody whose vision that you believe in, right, and you have the skills to be the producer behind the screen, to be the person hitting play, and all of that other stuff, help out, you know?
And that's kind of how we build community too. And
listen,
then
we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, we got. Slajon. I'm excited. Are you gonna do more of the Black Talk series, or was that? Because I think a lot of these spaces, it's like, it's okay if we just do it once, kind of thing, and like.
I don't believe in that either.
We are divisive.
I don't. Well, yes, there will be. There will be events, happenings, projects that are meant to be one time only, for sure. And also, I think if you can build something that is sustainable, that is long term, right, that you can come back to, that other people can come back to, I think there's a utility in that too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But now with Black Talk, I had got a grant, okay, to be able to do that. And so I did 4 episodes, brought, 7 to 10 Black critics into a space together. We watched a movie and then we talked about it. We watched Claudine, we watched Kokomo City, we watched School Days, and we watched something else, child, okay? Girl 6, Spike Lee's Girl 6. But the thing about continuing to do that is I need money.
That's the thing, right?
Because I know I look fabulous. I look, I know the skin's popping. I look like I got good coins, don't I? Okay, I work very hard to look this way. Okay, but I don't.
We don't.
You know what I mean?
I look like garbage.
Please cut it out. Please cut it out. Okay?
Fuck my drag.
Okay.
Who are you rooting for on Drag Race? Are you watching this season?
I am watching. I'm rooting for everybody Black.
I'm rooting for Anya.
Okay.
But Anya.
Especially Anya Nerve.
Okay.
I love her.
Final 3.
Final 3.
As of today, which is like March 5th.
You know what's funny? I don't even be remembering people's names.
I'll help you.
But Anya Nerve, Lexi Love, and...
Jules?
No. No. You know what? I said I'm rooting for everybody Black. That means I have to put Lana Jarrett there. She ain't gonna make it. She ain't gonna make it, I don't think. She ain't gonna make it, I don't think.
Fashion needs work, I feel.
Many of their fashions need work now. Okay? Gone are the days where you could get away with, the type of fashions that many of them are wearing. But, they all need a little work.
But,
now.
once we see someone like Sasha Colby win, I'm like, oh, come on. It's like...
Well...
I love Lydia Butthole.
Do you now?
But her fashions leave much to be desired.
Well, see, this is interesting. You like her, but you don't like her fashions. And
Fuck
to
her
me,
drag.
Well, but to me, her fashions are... her. I look at her fashions and I be like, see them that personality. I say that personality does that fashion.
Okay, I could get that.
But
so you say Lana,
Lana,
Lexi,
Anya, and Lexi.
I feel like I want Anya to win.
But them other two, Susie Toot and the other one, Jules, but the other one, the other, Sam
Star, Trinity's daughter.
That one. Yeah. They're very present in the competition.
I think what we want, if you like Lana, you said Lana, Lexi, and Anya. I say Anya, Susie, and Lexi.
I can see that.
But I also feel like Sam might slip in.
Well, she's definitely gonna work her.
Okay, so I'm gonna do something. We've never done this on the green room before.
Okay.
We have a little activity. So I'm gonna give you this.
Oh, it's a worksheet, y'all.
It's on a worksheet.
Oh.
We're going to reenact something.
Oh, it's a script.
And
oh.
Which one? I want you to be Florence.
Okay.
Okay. And I will be this is a scene from Sister Act 2.
Okay. Yes, it is.
It is what I would like to call the coulda, shoulda, woulda.
The coulda, shoulda, woulda scene.
And
absolutely.
It includes characters Rita Louise Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Florence Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Rita Louise was played by Lauryn Hill.
Yes, she was.
Florence Watson was played by
the legendary, Sheryl Lee Ralph. The original Dream Girl.
The original Dream Girl.
All right.
The setup to this. So, so you have Florence. And it's a short scene.
Yeah.
We will do our best.
We will do, because I'm nobody's actress. Okay?
We are both. We're reading this cold.
Okay, absolutely. But I do know the scene.
This is a pivotal scene in the movie of Sister Act. The setup is Florence, after a long day at work, has just taken away a Walkman from her daughter Rita, which would be me. I'm Rita. Tre'vell will be Florence. Action.
What is this?
It's just some music, Ma. Sister Mary Clarence wants us to learn it. For the choir.
Now, just when were you going to tell me that you're in a choir? Rita, how many times do we have to go through this? Singing does not put food on the table. Singing does not pay the bills. Singing is no guarantee to a future, even if you have got talent.
Mom, did you know I could sing?
So could your daddy, and he died still trying to make it.
But what does that have to do with me? Mom, we're a good choir. They want us to take us to this all music competition. We could win. We're good.
Baby, if you want to win in life, then keep your nose in them books and out of the clouds.
Mommy, if you could just listen to me, let me explain.
Baby, I know how you feel. Really, I do. But there are a lot of talented people right down there on the street singing their shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Now, is that how you want to end up?
No, that's not what I was...
Good. Then you don't have time for any choir because you got to study.
Mom, we have a chance of winning.
The choir and the competition are out.
Mommy.
If you butt mama me one more time, now I said the choir and the competition is out. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Insane.
That was good.
Period. We ate that.
We good.
We ate that. CAA, UTA, y'all should be calling.
Emilio Perez, eat your heart out.
Y'all should big purr. Okay. Okay, 13 Oscar nominations. Come on now.
Oh my God, that's gonna be it. That's what's gonna get us the Webby.
You deserve.
Glad Media Award.
Yeah, here we come.
Okay, thank you for humoring me with that because I know your favorite movie, Sister Act 2.
I love Sister Act 2. Probably one of the only movies where the sequel is better than the original, which is how it's supposed to be, people. It's supposed to get better.
And it's like that movie, Sister Act 2, had so much. I saw Asians in there.
Yes, yes, you did.
I'm sure there were some. Queer
it was San Francisco. Yes,
I'm sure there were some queer people.
I'm sure they were in the back. Okay, I'm sure they were.
I learned that dance routine. I had the VH. I still have
Joy for Joyful?
Yeah.
Oh, I was at the club recently. Okay, I don't go to the club too much, but I was at the club recently and the DJ threw it on, and baby, we was getting it.
Why were they playing that at a club?
Because
was it like a party?
It was a party. It was a club.
Oh,
it was a party. But you know, the DJs these days, you know, they are, you know, diving into the crates, you know, and pulling some of the old songs and mixing them with the new things. Listen, if I'm coming to your club, you can always play Joy for Joyful. You can play Kirk Franklin, okay, when I'm there. Mary, okay?
Was there a particular character in Sister Act 2 that you connected with?
Oh, I'm the star.
So you're Rita.
No, I am Dolores Van Cartier.
Oh, so okay, good.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you're right.
I was supposed to say one of the kids. I was supposed to say one of the kids.
Would you be open to... I am open to a Sister Act 3.
They said they're doing something with it.
Yeah, because remember, like, Keke Palmer put something up there?
Keke was involved with something.
Now, what do you think about The Fighting Temptations, starring the late Angie Stone?
Oh, yes. I was like, the late? Are you about to break news to me?
No, not anyone. Everyone else in that movie is alive, I feel.
I was like, whoop. I love The Fighting Temptations.
I just
a classic movie.
Because of Angie.
It's really good. Angie is really great in it, okay? Shout out to her. She gave that good
in her
vocal.
early years.
Yeah, you know, when people say that Beyonce can't act, I ask them to look at The Fighting Temptations.
Also, I think I was not really on board with Beyonce acting at first. I mean, back in the day.
I mean, she's you know, she's
grown by leaps and bounds.
You know, listen, the Beehive is watching, and I don't say nothing critical publicly about our dear queen.
I know,
but we know that the acting. You saw Obsessed.
I loved Obsessed. I remember. That movie was so much fun. That's like
it is a fun movie.
That's camp. Yeah.
Y'all always want to call stuff camp. Y'all always want to call stuff camp.
It's camp.
You want to call it camp when it's trash.
It's trash.
Y'all be like, oh, it's not good, but I kind of enjoyed it, so let's call it camp.
I actually because that's my vibe. Because you know how a messy bitch I am. So,
well, you know, listen, authenticity.
Okay, I want to have a snack break.
Oh, snack break.
Okay, listen. I know your favorite snack is Spree, right?
Yes, I love a Spree candy.
That shit
because
anywhere?
I told you I'm old, and Sprees, I feel like, well, because we are old. The candy of yesteryear that we might have, you know, enjoyed, it's hard to find.
Is it? I don't. Look, Spree, if you're out there, Tre'vell's right here.
I love a good Spree.
So if you want some Swedish fish, are you a Swedish fish?
I'm not a Swedish fish girl, but I'll do a Sour Patch.
Okay, no one likes Swedish fish.
Now I have a follow-up question. Now, why you get the watermelon?
Okay. always get the watermelon.
Oh, do you now? Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Tre'vell is canceling me.
I didn't say that. Okay. I didn't know I was coming to the green room. Okay. Shout out to Alphaba.
You know what? Listen, okay, someone told me, like I read this on one of the things. Someone was all, not like us.
Oh, okay.
Is on board of being EGOT in one way. So Kendrick mentioned it. Won a Grammy, obviously.
Sure.
Conan O'Brien made that joke about it at the Oscars.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Now we just need Cynthia
to
do something at the Tonys with Not Like Us, and whoever hosts the Emmy do a Not Like Us bit, and we're good.
Well, I'm sure they will.
Cynthia Erivo needs to be like, oh, minor.
You're childish. Okay, we love that she's hosting the Tonys. I don't think she will be doing that.
Maybe a presenter.
Perhaps. But also,
Not Like Us goes to, like, is that the audience, the Broadway?
First of all, Kendrick Lamar and Not Like Us is global.
Okay, you're right. Well,
global. I seen Asian folks over there across the pond just to get in it, okay, on the TikTok, okay?
And I stand correct, at the Super Bowl, he had the whole stadium singing A minor.
Listen, global. Because people, and I just say that because people like to play him. You know, the Drake fans like to play him, okay? But that thing is global. Kendrick Lamar will always be famous for Not Like Us. And that's amazing.
And also, a Grammy Award-winning diss track.
Period.
That has never happened. Okay.
And probably won't happen again.
Ever again.
We don't know, but who knows? Stay tuned.
So while you enjoy your... Hey, minor! How does that work? I don't know.
You know, listen, you want to give people the free vocals, that's totally fine.
I want to workshop it.
You do that.
But I'm sorry I couldn't find you sprees.
It's okay. I knew you wouldn't be able to.
You set me on a mission.
I mean, because if you was going to find them, shout out to me.
Okay, so on Inside the Actor Studio, we always have these questions. You know, they have that question at the end.
Sure.
I have my own version.
Okay, lovely. Okay,
so if I asked your friends what they admire most about you, what would they say?
Oh, You know, I hope that my friends say that they can come to me for whatever, but they know they're gonna get the real. Okay, you know what I mean? I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And if I'm silent, if you call me and you're telling me something and I'm silent, ooh, okay.
That's not a good sign?
It's not a good sign because it means I don't want to say what I want to say.
Okay.
But I'm also that good friend that I will volunteer stuff you didn't ask me for. So.
Wait, what's your astrological sign?
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I'm just asking that.
I'm a Leo.
I don't know what. I'm an Aries.
I don't know what none of that means, but I'm a Leo, and I am every bit like that.
I've been to ask that in the conversation to kind of check a box.
Just to throw it out there. Okay, so we checking boxes over here at the green room.
You know what?
Okay, you said DEI lives.
You can't spell DEI without DIE.
That is accurate. What a message. What a message for the people.
I said that on a Zoom call recently, and I made.
Did you regret it?
No, it was it was with people who.
Everybody else was in on the joke.
Yeah.
It was good. Okay.
Well,
okay.
Listen, guys, this safe space, authenticity, right?
Safe space for most people.
Wait, when are you at your happiest?
When am I at my happiest? Oh, I'm at my happiest when I am in my bed, you know, cuddled up with my man, you know, watching TV, you know, with the Hawaiian roll on the side.
There's endless supply of Hawaiian.
Oh, I would love that.
Have you been to the restaurant?
I have not. Because that just feels like you're overdoing it.
And it's far, right?
You know,
Where is it?
I think it's down the street from here, child. I don't know. It's in like Gardena or something, or, you know, Pasadena, somewhere.
But, okay. Is it Gardena?
See, Gardena.
But you don't. That's just too. You want to. You want to keep the fantasy.
I do want to go to have the experience of eating at the King's Hawaiian restaurant, right?
Yeah.
But also, it just. I looked at the menu once before, and I just said, I think I could just cook that at home and, get the bread from the pavilions or something. Yeah, because it just don't seem remarkable.
It seems more... Yeah,
ain't no
like
Michelin stars at the King's Hawaiian restaurant.
But James Beard Award winner.
I don't think they hitting on that clientele. You know what I mean?
But you know what?
But maybe.
I like how that's your perfect kind of snack. Okay, but when are you at your lowest?
When I'm at my lowest? Reading the news.
True.
Y'all, listen, it's a lot going on.
I know.
Okay? It's just a lot going on.
I limit myself to like maybe 3 or 4 headlines a day, and then I'm done.
Smart. Yeah, I do feel like for all of us, I know many of us are feeling overwhelmed with, the foolishness that man is doing in that White House and everything. But I think that's the best approach is to, take 30 minutes a day. Or is it 4 headlines? Just give you, because you don't want to tune completely out, and then you wake up one day and you ain't got no rights.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
It's also like, I think we tend to, or a lot of people tend to get lost in the comments and the divisiveness rather than the actual story.
I don't even go to the comments.
Yeah, it's just like,
read the story.
Yeah, and
read the headline. Actually, matter of fact, get off of the Instagram and the tickety talks and go to LATimes.com.
Yeah.
Go to AP.com or APnews.com.
Any news, reliable, accredited news organization.
Go to a better one. Go to the 19th.org. Okay.
Or even like local press, like the LA Press
Absolutely.
Foundation.
Go to the Tribe if you live in the Chicago area.
Remember the days of like alternative weeklies?
Oh. They don't exist anymore.
I know. I love picking up those free alternative weeklies.
We would have been working at the Alt Weekly.
Yeah.
That would have been the only place publishing our stories.
Well, Oh my God. That's such a good thing about take care of yourself when it comes to headlines, folks.
Absolutely.
If you were a wrestler, what would your entrance music be?
Oh, my entrance music would be, one of 2 things. Either Step Into the Bad Side from the Dreamgirls soundtrack, or Without Me by Fantasia featuring Missy Elliott and Kelly Rowland, or...
You got 3-part.
Because, listen, I'm going to do a long walk. Yeah. I'm going to do a long walk. Or Bodak Yellow by Cardiff B.
When you started to say ooh, I thought you were going to say Uchi Wally.
Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi Bang Bang, Uchi Wally Wally, Uchi. What you know about that, Dino?
Because that was a club banger back in the day.
Okay,
remember
Dino.
when Uchi Wally and when they would play Dance With Me by 112?
Sure.
That was a song to get down to. I see.
You showing your age, Dino. You telling the people what music you remember.
Ludicrous. A fantasy, ludicrous.
Oh, what a time.
What a time to be alive.
They don't make music like that no more.
We would go to the clubs in our business
business casual, in your business professional. You go literally from work to the club.
And you're buttoned down, square-toed.
Yeah, I hate that moment.
That moment, but we were free. When was the last time you laughed so hard you almost peed your pants?
Last time I laughed so hard. Oh,
Maybe you need to laugh more.
Maybe
laugh loud.
I definitely could use a lot more laughter. This is one of those moments where the memory is just like failing me, because I'm old.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I've had a great moment,
But what makes you kind of like roll over, like?
I like culturally specific comedy. The comedy that white people might laugh at it, but black people, we are kicking our shoes up, rolling on the floor. Very culturally specific.
Where it hits different.
I'm gonna give you one. Because we mentioned Drag Race earlier. I don't know if a black person said this or not, but the joke where they said to Corey King, asked her, what that was. The David Lynch moment was funny. But in the reading challenge, they asked Corey King, I believe, how did it feel when Marsha P. Johnson threw you?
Yeah.
That's a layered racial joke. I love that.
That's a really
in so many ways. That was something that I was like, oh, that person's smart.
So you like clever.
I like clever comedy.
Sly.
I like smart comedy. Make me think while making me laugh.
That's a shirt. Make me think while you're making me laugh.
Well, you need some merch opportunities.
When was the last time you cried?
Oh, I'm in a moment of just so many emotions since that man got reelected. I just bust out into tears.
Me too.
It's just all the time. It is. I was speaking to my doctor. I said, "Is there anything wrong?"
Well, do you feel it's good for you? It's like, rather than keeping it in.
I think it is a part of processing the moment, right? I think it's part of, even assessing the moment. Get your cry out, feel your feels, okay, so we can, move forward, right?
Yeah.
Get back to organizing, get back to, telling my stories, living my life, etc. For me, the tears have been, a part of the processing, right? And the realization of how shitty
Yeah. But it's
we
like,
live.
It's kind of like wild as like I look at, I always like Inside Out 2 is like very onto something. It's kind of like very much what I get from Inside Out is just like you have to pay attention to your emotions.
You have to pay attention
and listen
to your emotions.
them.
And also, I think for many of us, even as we are feeling overwhelmed in this moment, I do think it also calls for us to slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Right? And taking some deep breaths. If you need to get a cry out, get your cry out. Just like slow down. I feel like we can get caught up in like just going, trying to like, we had the election and then people literally went back to work the next day like ain't nothing happened.
I know. Well,
this fool is over here doing all this. I don't want to get to the political,
yeah.
but
But I get it.
But so many folks are just moving as normal, and I get it because many of us are coping. But I think when we slow down just a tad, I think that could be very useful. And if you find yourself, with tears scrolling down your face, it's okay. Great moisturization.
I think it's also just kind of trying to find that pace.
Yeah. And we all have to find our own paces.
Have you ever asked to speak to a manager at a retail or restaurant establishment?
I have not.
Okay, good.
But I've been with people. Like I'm not the let me see the manager girl.
Yeah.
But I hang with people who are very much so. I want to. Who's above you?
No.
Okay.
I hear that though.
But I'm gonna, I'm not calling myself.
Picking battles.
You just gotta call in your reinforcements, okay? This is why, my own little Sex in the City tribe.
You have to have the person.
Okay? And we all have our role to play in this fight toward the liberation and the promised land we say we want. Okay?
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
So I will be doing at some point in my life, I'm going to have a restaurant and lounge. Okay, I used to want to be a chef. That was my first career of choice. And then but then my mother told me, "Oh, I'm not paying for you to go do no hobby." She was like, "You can't go to school to do no hobby." And so I did something else. I said, "I'm gonna be a writer." And so, but I still love food. I still love cooking. And so there will be a restaurant and lounge somewhere in this here country named Slay Jean, in about, give me 10 to 15 years.
No, it's 5.
Baby, do you see the economy going? When you see what's going on, egg, you see how much eggs cost?
Come on, GoFundMe.
Listen, for all I know, I don't know if we gonna still be here in 5 years, okay? You know what's going on, but that's the plan.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, food. I love it. I love that. If there's one person living or dead that you could be for 24 hours, who would it be?
Ooh. That I could be.
Just for 24 hours?
Just for 24? Harriet.
Interesting.
Because
not the Snatch Game version, but
no, the original Harriet the Tubman, okay? Only because, we have all these stories about, her, taking the slaves to freedom and, her being a spy for the government. And, there's this joke that folks often say that, like, with some people, the saying, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Yeah.
Okay, so those skin folk who ain't kinfolk, they sometimes say that Harriet would have had to, leave you behind. And so I want to just see, as Harriet, if that was the case. You know what I mean? I just want to be there. Because you're
from
going
the horse's mouth.
Yeah, but because it's Harriet. So you're going to get to freedom because she be having the visions that, show her where to go, allegedly. And so I know I'm going to get to freedom and I'm going to be okay. Yeah. So I just want to, let me just see what the people was going, I just feel like...
That's a good answer.
I just feel like, history could be a great teacher for us. You know what I mean? And we might need the Underground Railroad in just a few short weeks. So let me get the experience,
That's
you know.
such a good answer. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. But then, like, is it sad? Like, I also thought of, like, Jordan, the Key and Peele sketch.
Sure.
When she was doing all those flips.
Sure.
And they were all...
Sure.
we can't keep up.
I mean, listen, I sure can't. Okay? But that's why I just want to be in her body so I can, see.
I like that.
From one vantage point, and then hopefully, we'll be able to recreate as necessary, because,
Come on, Harriet Tubman. Shout out to Simone, who did Harriet Tubman on the Snatch Game.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Cynthia, who we spoke about, who was in... Yeah. Well, before she was nominated for an Oscar for that, she was nominated for an Oscar for Harriet.
And she was Aretha as well.
Yeah.
We're just praising Cynthia. Cynthia, if you would like to come on.
Well,
You never know. Wicked 2 for good. Green
is coming.
Green Room. Come on. What is it? Universal? Is that?
I don't know the people, beloved.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. They don't know me either, for the record.
I don't know her. Okay. Final question.
Okay.
What do you like most about me?
Ooh, this is a self-serving question. What do I like most about you? I like your laugh. It's a laugh that pierces through a crowd.
It's like a cackle.
Okay.
Is it cackle? Cackle?
It is. It's cackle-ish. It is very cackle-like. Absolutely, but it's high pitch, as mine is as well, for the record.
A good laugh.
It's a good laugh. Because it's also the kind of laugh that makes you want to laugh as well, so it's contagious.
I love it.
And I always know when I'm in a space, because you're going to be laughing no matter what you're doing. And I always
Especially
know
at an event.
If I hear that laugh, Dino's here. Let me find Dino. That's where the fun people are.
Causing the rigmarole.
Let's come on, rigmarole. You better you pronounce the whole word. Okay.
Tre'vell, thank you so much for being here. But do you have anything to plug? Your Instagram?
Sure.
Anything? Are you on anything?
Yes, I am on the Instagram at Rayzhon, Rayzhon, and also at Slayzhon, Slayzhon. You can also follow the Slayzhon YouTube page, okay, to see what we're building over there. And as always, you can check out my fabulous books, We See Each Other, A Black Trans Journey Through TV and Film, and the NAACP Image Award-winning Historically Black Phrases from I Ain't One of Your Little Friends to Who All Gonna Be There. Both available on my website at Tre'vellAnderson.com.
Can people still listen to Fanti if they want to?
It's there. It's out in the world. You can also, explore that. Now, that is a capsule collection, we'll call it. Okay. Because it's there. Don't hold me accountable for what I said during
because it's a different time.
It is a whole different time. That was, the pandemic era.
So, Tre'vell, all my guests, I always give them gifts.
Oh.
Because, as journalists, we always get stuff.
And
you probably have some of this stuff. I'm going to give it to you. Anyway.
So wait, let me clarify. You are giving away stuff that you have gotten in press things.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I just want to make sure I understand.
Very auntie, huh?
Well,
if the shoe fits.
Some would say you have a hoarding problem, but you're making it work.
Renewing Rich Beauty Cream.
You know what's so funny?
I
don't remember what this came in, but I got it. I don't remember what it came in, but I remember this blue box.
Okay, you don't.
No. I'll take it.
You want a disposable camera?
I will take a Fujifilm.
Yeah, there you go.
I will take. This is classic. Okay.
Classic.
Do they still develop?
Yeah, you have to go find it. They don't do it at like Ralph's or anything. I don't.
Oh, okay, that's
or
unfortunate.
You can mail it off. I think
mail it.
Yep.
Walmart. Okay. Well, I ain't been to Walmart on a month of Sundays, but I'll figure it out.
An in and out gift card?
For how much?
I think it's $15.
Okay. Now, I don't really like the In-N-Out, but I'm going to take it.
Yeah. I don't eat meat, so...
Oh, don't they have a vegan option or something?
It's like cheese between two bread. We could just do that at home.
Oh. Okay, well, I will make sure somebody going to use this. You've been a blessing to me, and I'm going to be a blessing to someone else. Okay?
Here it is.
There's more.
Here's some stuff here. This is a thing. Some facial material, some diaspora rolling papers.
Oh, now, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
A grinder.
Okay.
Nice
I will take this. Okay. This is a lot. Now, you give me a little bag.
You could put it all in.
No. I was literally gonna be like, you got a bag?
And
Aw.
here you could have this too. This is another major
Okay.
face care.
Okay.
I'm always into face care. You know,
Are
what? I'll be
you?
honest.
But you giving it away.
I'll be honest with you. My roommate had this huge box of products like that, and I just took a bunch.
Okay.
And I'm
so
giving
you
it to all my
stole
friends.
it.
But he said take. No, he said take it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, you can steal if you want. I don't judge.
Yeah.
Just don't steal from me. Okay.
But Tre'vell, you are wonderful.
Yes.
I love having you on the pods and stuff, and come back anytime.
Absolutely.
And if you want me on one of your podcasts,
Well,
I'm
let's stay tuned. Let's stay tuned. Who knows?
Shade. Oh my God, you have won the reading challenge.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Tre'vell.